This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, September the 3rd, in the year 2023, I knew a Formula One record would be set as Max Verstappen, the Dutch driver, actually became the first driver in history to win 10 straight races. It was weird. It was not Michael Schumacher. It was not Nigel Mansell or Len Prost or Ayrton Senna that did it. It was Verstappen, of all people. Verstappen, heading into the 2023 season, was on a roll. He won the 2022 World Championship. Of course, he won the 21 championship controversially because of that final lap of the final race being probably made for TV and all that. But Verstappen proved himself worthy in 2022 winning. The season started with Verstappen winning in Bahrain, then Sergio Perez winning at Saudi Arabia. Verstappen won in Australia and Sergio Perez won in Azerbaijan. However, in one of the most craziest stretches of all time, Max Verstappen then started to win and win and win and win. At the Miami Grand Prix in Miami Gardens, Sergio Perez had the pole, but he could not hang on as Verstappen won the race. And then in Monaco, the infamous Monaco Grand Prix, which every good race fan watches on the same day as the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 500 in Charlotte for the Triple Crown of racing. Verstappen was on the pole, and he proved it by winning the Monaco Grand Prix. And then the next race was the Spanish Grand Prix, which Verstappen won from pole. And then came the famous Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal, first time in a while that was hosted because of the COVID situation. But Verstappen was on pole, he won the race. The Austrian Grand Prix, he won and from pole. The British Grand Prix, he won from pole. The Hungary Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton started from position 1, but he couldn't hang on as Verstappen did it. Charles Leclerc was the pole position for the Belgian Grand Prix. Unfortunately, though, Verstappen got a 5-place grid penalty for a gearbox driveline, which was not cleared in time, so he lost 5 spots. So Leclerc would be the leader. Unfortunately, the Belgian Grand Prix, Verstappen won it. And then he went from the Dutch's most powerful neighbor, Belgium, to the most powerful country themselves, the country of Holland himself. Verstappen would win the race in his home Grand Prix. I mean, come on, you really think he was going to lose in the Dutch? And then came the 2023 Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Sebastian Vettel had 9 straight wins in 2013, which was shocking enough that he was the guy with the longest winning streak, and not Senna or Schumi, as I said, or even Hamilton. But anyway, Verstappen did what he could and all that. So, anyway, Carlos Sainz shocked a lot of people by making it onto the grid. He was first at 1:20.29. Verstappen, but his finish was 1:20.307, just missing out on it, and Charles Leclerc was third. So Sainz would lead from the pole. There would be a 20-minute delay because of the formation lap having problems with Yuki Tsunoda breaking down on track. The race distance was reduced by 2 laps because 2 unscheduled formation laps had taken place. Carlos Sainz had a good start and held off Verstappen for the first 14 laps. Sainz unfortunately locked up on it, making Verstappen a chance to pass. He led the race until he had to stop in the pits. There would be huge battles and all that. So Verstappen looked pretty impressive. Verstappen had things going for him. With Perez and Leclerc fighting for second place. Lewis Hamilton tried to pass Oscar Piastri, but cut across and damaged Piastri's front wing. Hamilton was given a 5-second penalty, but he didn't lose any ground on anything. Anyway, Verstappen easily won this race by 6 seconds over Sergio Perez, as Red Bull went 1-2 in the race. Carlos Sainz of Ferrari took third, ahead of his Ferrari teammate Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, Canada's Lance Stroll, took 16th. You know that. So Verstappen would be crushing the points race and all that. So he won his 10th straight race. However, he couldn't make it 11 as Carlos Sainz won the pole at Singapore and somehow won the race. But don't pity Verstappen, because Verstappen would win the last 7 races, even though he practically was world champion after only 3 or 4 races left. Verstappen would win 4 poles. Charles Leclerc would score 3 poles. But anyway, Verstappen won in Japan, Qatar, the U.S. Grand Prix, Texas, the Mexico City Grand Prix, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. So by the end of it, it was huge. Verstappen had won so many freaking races, it was impossible. And only once was the winning car not a Red Bull. Even though Sergio Perez won 2 races, he was Verstappen's teammate at Red Bull. Carlos Sainz at Ferrari was the only guy to win a race. It was not Verstappen or Perez, or Red Bull for that matter. There was no surprise that Sergio Perez, as Verstappen's teammate, would benefit and take second place in the driver's standings behind Verstappen, with Lewis Hamilton taking third. Canada's Lance Stroll took 10th, which isn't half bad. I would take that any day of the week. But the fact of the matter was that, to win 10 races in a row in any of the major sports, NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, you name it, it's hard to do, really. It is hard to do, no matter how good you are. And that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond, I do